Well, hello, folks. It's Jason here with the Task Force Mortgage Team. I always say your boy, but then I realized, shit, I've been doing this almost 12 years, and I'm probably old enough to be some of your folks' father or even your grandpa. Yes, I am a grandpa. I've got 10 grandchildren under the age of 10. That being said, today's video is what should I do if my VA loan application has been denied? I'll be honest with you. It's not really a trick question. It's not really even a trick answer. However, there's a lot of companies out there that have the word veteran in their name, or people assume that they're part of the VA. Right now, to remember, the VA doesn't actually do your loan. They guarantee the loan. The lender has to do your loan. So if your particular lender denies your loan, it doesn't mean that necessarily you're going to be denied everywhere that you go. Right. And the reason for that is each lender has their own risk mitigation and overlay process. So I always equate this to when I served in the Army as an infantryman. We had the FM 7-8. That was the infantryman's Bible, right? It basically had every single battle drill known to an infantryman, and you had to know it and master it. And it was a book that we used for training. Well, just like in the Army, lenders can add to something but never take away. So in the Army, the addition to the 7-8 would be the Ranger Handbook, right? Which is a far superior product and a better way of doing things. But at the same time, it's an addition. We're not taking away. Well, if you've applied with a lender, ABC lender, whatever they are, and they say, nope, we can't help you, that doesn't necessarily mean that all lenders can't help you. It's normally because either one of two things. One, their overlays don't fit your certain circumstance, so then therefore they can't do the loan. Or B, it doesn't matter what lender you go with, your file just needs a lot of improvement, right? Now for us, we don't have any additional overlays, right? We literally underwrite and execute the VA guidelines as is, except for the one. There's one guideline that everybody adds an overlay to, and that is the VA does not require you to have a FICO score. However, you are not going to find a lender on the planet that will give you money without at least a base score, right? Now, a lot of companies out there have a minimum score of 620, 600, 580, right? We actually go all the way down to 500. However, at a 500 FICO score, anybody with any common knowledge of how credit works, that means you've probably had some issues in your past, right? That you need to work through. Now, not saying that all 500 FICO scores get approved, but at least they get looked at and say, okay, how do we put this person in the best position to make sure that they can afford this home and not get worse, right? I always say we're helping you improve your foxhole, not make it worse, right? So just because you get denied an application, you should not assume that you can't use your VA home loan or buy a home, right? And again, common reasons for denial, the overlays, whether it's a minimum FICO score. I'll be honest, there's a lot of lenders out there that claim to be VA loan experts, and they say your DTI is too high, your debt to income. Believe it or not, the VA does not give two shits about DTI. The most important factor for VA is residual, income residual, meaning after all that you make coming in versus all that you got going out to include the future mortgage payment, how much money do you have left over to support your family? And the VA has this crazy little worksheet based off of what region of the US you live in and your family size, where they think, you should have X amount of dollars. Well, Jay, what does that look like? Well, okay, let's say you're a family two on the West, right? Just you and your spouse, no kids. They say that you gotta have at least a little over $500 a month left over after paying everything to be considered okay. Now, do I agree with that number? No, because if you only have $500 to your name after paying all your bills, that doesn't count food, gas in the tank for the vehicle, right? Stuff. But the VA says, hey, at least if they have that, we know they can afford the home. Now, if you can't meet residual, it doesn't matter what lender you go to. That is a hard stop, right? That's the most important guideline I see that people end up getting denied for. And it just means if you're getting denied for that, it means you're getting denied for the loan amount that you want. So A good loan advisor, a good loan officer is going to say, okay, well, they can't meet residual at, let's say, 400,000. But if we get them down to 300, 325, or 350, now they're good to go. And then you have to present those options to the veteran buyer, and say, okay, here's why you can't afford 400K right now, but you have options at these other levels, right? Let's see here. Steps to take if denied. Well, the first step is ask, hey, why did I get denied? And then write it down, right? And then once you got your answer, reach out to another lender. Reach out to me. Say, hey, Jay, ABC company denied me, and this was the reasons what they told me. And I'll tell you whether or not, hey, you know what? I can work with that, and here's why. Or, hey, you know what? That is an actual VA guideline issue. And did they give you, and I'll ask you, hey, did they give you a plan on how to rectify that? If not, well, now they're just wasting your time, right? Because ultimately, even for folks that we can't approve, we'll say, okay, guys, when we say no, it's no for right now, not forever. But if you execute this plan that we put together, you will be able to buy a home, right? So we help you out. We draw up the blueprint, we give you the map, you just have to execute, right? And then how to improve your application for future approval. Well, that goes right back to what I was saying. You know, if a lender isn't giving you that feedback, how are you going to know, right? That's what we do here. Like I say, we're truly more than just a catcher's mitt, right? Most lenders, I call them catcher's mitts. They catch 1003s all day, loan applications all day. They run numbers, provide zero value other than say, hey, I got a cool rate for you. Whoop-de freaking do, right? That does nothing for you, right? We're going to educate you through the process. And I get it. Not everybody likes my style. And that's okay. That's me. I'm not going to compromise that, right? I always said I retired as a crusty old sergeant first class, an E7. There's a reason for that, right? Couldn't keep my mouth shut, had no desire to be E8 or E9. But at the same time, when I work with folks, that E7 mentality comes in and it's like, look, high speed, here we go. I want to help you. I want to get you there, but you're lacking a little bit, but this is how we're going to improve. And this is how we're going to get you there. That's the difference, right? I truly care. I truly believe that all veterans that have served this country deserve to own a piece of it. That's it for this video. Make it a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Aloha.